Hey guys, so in anticipation for the new Wizarding World film, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore coming out soon, I thought I'd jump back into the Fantastic Beasts universe, the Wizarding World universe, and give you guys reviews on the first two Fantastic Beasts films. So we're going to break that up into two videos, and starting with the first video being Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. So let's jump right into that and give you guys my thoughts on this Fantastic Beasts rewatch. Going back on rewatching this film, unfortunately, it does not hold up. There's really only two things that stay consistent for me, and that's the performances by Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander and Dan Fogler as Jacob Kowalski. Both of them were the shining stars of this film. Now, especially Jacob. This isn't a hot take when most people talk about this film because they all pretty much agree that Fogler is the best part of this movie. You know, he's funny when he needs to be. He portrays this kind of fish out of water everyman that the audience really relates to, because we would all think, like, if we were jumping into this wizarding world, how would we act as normal, non-wizard people? We would be like Jacob Kowalski. So he was great. And obviously Eddie Redmayne's great. I mean, he's Oscar recognized. People know he's a great actor, and he really does a good job in portraying a character who really just all he cares about is these beasts. And he's really awkward around people. He doesn't have time interacting with these fantastic beasts. And he was just really lovable and just someone you really cared about and you rooted for, which is what you want in a protagonist. Now, everyone else was pretty good. There weren't really any standout negatives except one actor as in one performance, and that was Ezra Miller as Credence. I am a fan of Ezra Miller's acting. Because my gears is Credence in this film. You know, I feel like he's playing a caricature of a person who really goes through this kind of traumatic life. And it's interesting because there are people in real life who live these really sad, unfortunate lives, and it's really sad to think about because people do go through the things that Ezra Miller's character goes through in this film. And that's really interesting because J.K. Rowling chose to take a more mature tone, which I appreciate. It's cool to see her recognize that Harry Potter fans are growing up and they're willing to handle these more mature, kind of broken characters in a film that you really haven't really seen in past Harry Potter films. So that was a unique idea that I appreciate, and I'll give the movie and J.K. Rowling her credit. But Ezra Miller did not do a good job of executing that. You know, he feels like I think the main thing is it's just the way he looks. The body acting, it just feels fake. It just feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. Ezra Miller did not do a good job, and he really drags this movie down. Every time he's on the screen, I immediately check out. I'm like, great, he's going to start crying. It just doesn't feel genuine. It just wasn't good. He was the worst part of this movie, in my opinion, by far. So while I give the movie credit for taking a more mature take, a mature tone and story beat, I'm going to have to criticize it for Ezra Miller. He didn't execute those ideas well at all. Also, if you're like a lore fan, you notice a lot of things. Scenes that she likes to change and go back on, and it's really obvious in this movie that really breaks the immersion if you're a big lore fan. So the lore issues, along with Ezra Miller's negative performance, are my two negative takeaways, but everyone else did pretty well, and Eddie Redmayne and Dan Fogler were the two best parts of this movie. Now, moving on to plot, three different plots going on at the same time, and that works in a book, right? J.K. Rowling's used to writing books. In a book, you have more time to execute multiple subplots that come together at the end for a climactic, finish. But in a movie, you have way less time. It's a visual medium. Things need to flow better. Pacing is really, 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 really important. Pacing and writing, are tied like this. They need to work well together, and they don't in this movie. There's three plots, really. There's Newt letting the Fantastic Beasts out and the recapturing of the beasts. Along with that, you kind of have like a mini subplot of Newt being chased by MACUSA, which takes up a bit of this film. And then you have Percival Graves, also known as Grindelwald, which we'll get into that whole weird kind of climactic character actor switch at the end of this review. But yeah, we have Percival Graves trying to gain information from Credence about this being called an Obscurus. Now, I understand that this was supposed to be like a franchise, and you can't really make a franchise out of just capturing beasts. That would just be like Monster Hunter the game, pretty much. But man, this felt like a completely different movie. It just didn't work for me, and obviously Ezra Miller is a big part of this plot, so obviously I didn't like it. It just didn't work well, so it's weird I say all these things about Ezra Miller as Credence and how he really drags the movie down for me because, in my opinion, the best part of this movie is when Ezra Miller really loses control of the Obscurus in New York. That character design was really cool, and that was really exciting. So while I didn't like Ezra Miller and I didn't like the Percival Graves subplot, I think Ezra Miller was the best part of the movie. The destruction through New York was really cool, and that was all really exciting stuff. Unfortunately, J.K. Rowling had to ruin it again by finishing off the movie with like 4 endings that just dragged again. 4 endings dragged the movie down. The 3 different plots that don't flow drag the movie down, and it leads to you wanting to check your phone a lot. Pretty much. Effects and CGI were really hit or miss for me. I really liked the way the Witches and Wizards operated. That was super cool. But I feel like Newt's Beast could have used more budget. A lot of the time you could clearly tell that it was fake stuff, and obviously it's all fake. But the point of good CGI is for you to suspend your disbelief, and I couldn't. A lot of the time I was like, that looks so bad, I can't suspend my disbelief. Now, the Obscurus, did look really cool. It felt like something of a Dark Souls game, which is something exciting because, I mean, that those unique character designs are super cool and what makes those games really unique. And the Obscurus felt like something straight out of Dark Souls, which was super cool for me. So overall, CGI was pretty hit or miss for me. The Obscurus was a standout positive, though. Now, this is a weird kind of thing I noticed. The movie takes place in New York, and New York has a lot of verticality, right? But this movie feels like it lacks that verticality. You know, when the movie's not doing like a CGI tracking shot, it feels like they're on a green screen, which is not good, which is not what you want. It feels like they're on like the set of like a play or something. It just didn't didn't have that verticality that you'd expect in New York. Yeah, so overall the film's is a miss for me. You know, it's unfortunate because there's 2 really good performances hidden in this mess of a movie. Eddie Redmayne and Jacob Kowalski did a great job. But other than that, this movie just is really hit or miss. It's frustrating as a fan to see the first attempt at jumping back into this world not be as well executed as it could have been. I think J.K. Rowling needs to retire her career as a movie writer and focus on books because a book writing strategy does not work in movie writing strategy. It'd be a 2 out of 5 for me. You're just a miss, unfortunately. Could have been better. 2 performances can't hold up this movie. So yeah, 2 out of 5, and disappointing if you're a Harry Potter fan. Thank you for sticking around and watching all the way through. I hope you enjoyed my review of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and head to my channel for more videos. I'll be sure to post another video review for you guys soon. So thank you very much and have a good day. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next episode of 5-Star Reviews. Goodbye.